What's up, beautiful people? Listen, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video from Sowell, and it's titled "The Woke Mob Takes America for Granted." Interesting. I'm excited to check this one out to hear what Sowell have got to say. Let's check it out.
Most of us know that whatever our color or condition, we need only to see the hunger in Africa, the blood in Lebanon, or the Berlin Wall to realize we are better off here. Even among free nations, America is blessed. Deep thinkers don't look at it that way. The very phrase 4th of July can bring scorn to their faces. Anything the masses believe in is suspect in their eyes. They don't compare the United States to other countries, but to their ideals. Every wrong in this country, past or present, proves to them that it is not worthy of noble creatures like themselves. It never occurs to them that tragic wrongs are found wherever human beings are found. Anyone looking for a sinner need look no further than the mirror. Everything human is a failure compared to ideals. To build a beautiful world of ideals takes only an active imagination, some free time, and a nice vocabulary. But the world people live in is the world of reality. And to make that world decent and free takes much hard work, much sacrifice.
Before we go on, I just want to point this out loud, because every time I check videos, you hear people say there are people in Africa that are poor, that are suffering and all of that. Africa is not a country. If you're thinking or talking about places where people are hungry or they're poor and all of that, please mention the name of the country, not Africa. There are over 50 countries in Africa. So when you say Africa, it means you're grouping like all the countries are hungry, are poor, and it's not making sense. It's like, honestly, I just want to point that out, because I mean, people really need to start doing their research and pointing all of this out, because sometimes when you hear these things, you begin to wonder, like, where exactly are they talking about? Like, which parts are they talking about? And they group everybody to be like, oh, you're in Africa, you're hungry, you're poor. I get the other time somebody was asking, if that was way far back, people were asking if there are houses or cars in Africa. And I'd be like, Africa is not a country, it's a freaking continent. Fun fact is, if you're even talking about Africa, there are countries or there are places, and I don't know no country in Africa that don't have houses or don't have cars. Or people think that all the countries in Africa have safaris. People really need to start educating themselves properly about this. But again, let's talk about America for a moment, because I mean, this topic is generally for America. Honestly, whenever I check videos about Americans whining and crying and complaining about things, I be like, you guys don't really know what you have. You take a lot of things for granted. And it's because of the fact that these people don't even know what real suffering is. I keep saying there are lots of people that will kill for what these people have. But again, let's also not forget that the exact same way there is suffering in some parts in some countries or some country in Africa, don't mean there is no suffering or there is no poverty in other countries or in the West or in America. It's just because they want to glamorize and make it and paint it look like, oh, one part is beneficial or enduring more than the other. Yeah, America have done so well with the advancement and technologies and everything they have to maintain a certain position, while other countries have not gotten there. But that doesn't mean that America was not somewhere before they got to that level. And honestly, I just want to say that Americans really should prioritize taking good advantage of what they have and not take it for granted. Honestly, the lifestyle, what they have, they don't know that what they take for granted is someone else's dream. And it's not just in some country in Africa or countries in Africa. It's also in other parts of the world as well. That people really want to live that dream, that American dream. But yeah, let's go on.
And to make that world decent and free takes much hard work, much sacrifice, and many young men buried under a sea of crosses at places like Normandy and Iwo Jima. Ideals have their value, but ultimately ideal visions are a cheap substitute for reality. For those with a cheap substitute to look down their noses at the real thing is a little much. If America could be summed up in one word, that word would be freedom. Those of us who grew up with freedom may take it for granted, but tens of thousands have died trying to get here for it. In just 1 year, 40,000 people died trying to cross the Atlantic from Ireland alone back in the days of the sailing ships. Even larger numbers of boat people have perished in the Pacific in our own time. The desire for freedom is so much a part of human nature that politicians and deep thinkers try to call other things freedom in order to sell them. They try to call it economic freedom when the government guarantees you food, shelter, and other basics. Prisons have that kind of freedom. So do communist countries. People try to escape from both, often at the risk of their lives. The freedom of America is the freedom to live your own life and take your own chances. The American Revolution was more than a rebellion against England. It was a rebellion against the whole idea that some special anointed could tell everybody else what to do. The Constitution of the United States is pervaded by the conviction that no one is to be trusted with too much power. Long after kings and dukes have faded into the background, other kinds of the anointed have arisen, convinced that they should be running our lives for us. All sorts of beautiful things are supposed to happen if only we give enough power and money to the new anointed. If only we surrender our freedom to our betters, they will solve our problems and create social justice. Haven't we heard that one before, too many times? Hasn't it been tried already in too many places, from Nazi Germany to Jonestown? Freedom has to be defended every day against lofty rhetoric as well as military threats. We have to say to the anointed, "Look, you fellows may have your diplomas and high-toned talk, your good intentions and tables of statistics. You may even have some good ideas and suggestions now and then, and we will follow some of them if we feel like it. But we're not going to let you run our lives. Hey, Mac, we're as good as you are." That's what America is all about.
Well, America has fought a good fight, and to maintain the position they are in. And I always say that for those people who take the opportunities they have in America for granted, they should ask these immigrants, what do they see that in America that's making them come, the influx, the rise of people coming into the West. They should be asking them this question. Then they understand that, what you're taking for granted is what somebody is dreaming of and what somebody wants and what somebody is dying for to get. But of course, I wouldn't say it is Americans' fault or it is most Americans' fault, because I mean, they have so much to give that they don't even know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with it because, I mean, they have it in abundance. I'm just going to use that word. But at the same time, there are people that are constantly telling them, you don't deserve this. You're not deserving of this. There are people who deserve this way better than you. So don't look too much into it. So they be like, so hence, they don't value what they have, or most of them don't value what they have, because I'm not going to say or generalize or categorically saying all Americans, because there are few people or there are others who know the value of what they have and they still continuously put in work to maintain it so it doesn't go away. And this is all of what wokeism does, because wokeism don't make you see what you have to appreciate what you have. Because they'll be like, you don't deserve. They want you to have that guilt. They want you to have that victim mentality. That no, somebody is better off having this than you. And all of that guilt-tricking behavior, which is not making sense. And I always say that before now, I used to admire lots of Americans because with what was presented to us in the media and everything, people love their lifestyle. They'd be like, wow, exactly what Thomas Sowell said here. America is free. When you think of America, you think of freedom. And that was what lots of people envisioned and loved about it, and made many of us, or many people, come into America to enjoy that freedom, to be part of that freedom. And lots of people are enjoying it because they will not see it somewhere else, or they will not see it from their home country. Many of them will not see it. A few would, but many wouldn't. That's why they want to be part of America and be part of the American dream. And it shouldn't be taken away. That's why when people ask, does the American dream still exist? I say yes, it does. Just put your head down and focus. You would achieve your American dream. There is no timeline for it. But lots of people want to put a timestamp. I want to put a timeline to it. And I always say that Americans shouldn't be listening to the outside noise. Rather, they should take care of their environment and pay close attention to their environment and appreciate what they have. And also, I always pray for them that God give them the heart to continuously be generous and help other people and bless them abundantly. Because with what America is doing, there are few countries who would do that and still survive it. America has come a long way. And nobody wants America down. And likewise, the people in it don't want it down. So the Americans should know this and fight to keep America still standing. Don't take it for granted at all, because they don't know what they have. I mean, you all know the saying, you don't know what you have until you lose it. They don't know what they have, except maybe they leave, they go visit some place, and then they realize what they have and take for granted. Some start to appreciate what they have. But you don't have to leave for you to appreciate what you have. Look at your surrounding. Look at how blessed you are in America. Wonder why America is the greatest nation today? People really need to start asking that question. It is because of the goodness of the hearts, and because they still have good people in it who still want to keep America standing. That is why America is still standing today. And no, nobody should be praying for the downfall of America, because America is holding lots of countries up, and many countries are looking up to America. But yeah, this is interesting. I'm sure lots of people already know this, but I mean, for those who don't know this, they should also know that they shouldn't take what they have for granted. Regardless, you don't even need to be in America to know this. Or you don't need to be an American to know this. Americans shouldn't take, or lots of Americans shouldn't take America for granted because of the idea or because of the wokeism. Like I always say, there are lots of people who push for this type of ideology, who wants to keep people controlled. So they need people they can control. They need division, because there are some people who is going to benefit from this idea or ideology of division. So they need people. And it's easy to control them using the woke agenda. But yeah, all I've just got to say is, regardless, America will still be standing. I still believe that America will still be standing. I just want to say, lots of people admire America, and my prayer to America is God bless America, God bless the people in America, and God bless America's economy. And people should continuously put in the work to add to the benefit of America and not tear it down. But let me know what you think about this. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share. I really love your honest contribution. You can share that useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.